Good afternoon. My name is Aisha, and today the topic that I will be discussing is the employment trends across industries and age groups. So there will be two questions that I'll be answering. Firstly, it is which industry sectors provide the greatest employment opportunities, and secondly, if there's any preferences among age ranges for occupations. So I made three different functions. Firstly, highest industry for year, highest occupation for age group, and lastly, summary function. So for the first part, the program will ask the user for a year input, and to ensure that it is valid, I use try except value error to make sure that it is numerical values from 2007 to 2024. Then I created an empty dictionary to store the total employment for each industry. So looking at dataset A, the data is not clean because there is dashes and an A. Therefore, I use dot replace to replace the non-numerical values with a 0. Then the program will open the file and go through each row to add the number of employees to the total for that industry. Then I made variables so that we can store the highest values for the industry, and after summing everything up, I calculated the percentage. So the function will be then called in the main loop, and I use a while loop so that I can allow users to retry if they want to. This is the output that will be displayed so that users can key in what year they want to try, and this is an example for 2020 output. So now moving on to the second part, again we ask users to input the age group, so to put in number 1 to 11, and to check if the input is valid, I use try except value error. So I use the if statement to let the program know which numerical values represent which age groups, and similarly I created an empty dictionary to store all the values. Now looking at dataset B, the data is also dirty, so we have to use dot replace to clean the data. Then I made variables to store the highest values and the highest occupation, and the program will then compare all the occupations and update which is the highest ones. Similarly, the function will be then called again in the main code, and I use a while loop to ensure that users can retry if they want to. If not, it will go to the next part. So this is an example of the output so that users can choose what age group they want, and this will be what is displayed for the age group of 40 to 44 years old. Now for the summary function, I created empty lists in the main code to store the user's queries and use .append in the different functions to put the data into the list. I use a for loop so that the program loops through this list to ensure that it displays everything that the user has inputted. And then I call the summary function in the main code. So this is an example of the output of the summary, and then in the main code, I use a while loop to ask users if they want to retry any of the three functions or to exit the program. So through this project, I faced challenges such as organizing the functions and the sequence of execution, but I learned that there's a lot of trial and error that is needed, the importance of planning ahead when coding, and also the importance of comments so that it can help me remember which part I'm doing. So my key takeaways is that a clean, well-structured code is just as important as getting the correct output. So that will be all from me. Thank you and have a great week ahead.